Let's set aside our conventional notions of Saudi Arabia and delve deeper into a monarchy that controls a colossal fortune of $4 trillion. A place where a single misstep can land you in jail. Robots are officially granted citizenship, and female astronauts fly to the space station. A completely different world is gradually unfolding through the hidden corners of power and countless paradoxes you may never have heard of. Let's begin with the harshest reality. The very land they rule is not meant for humankind. Number 1. Keeping lions next to the swimming pool and a Lamborghini. In this kingdom, there exists a hidden aspect of high society life that many Westerners would find hard to imagine: keeping lions in their living rooms. For the ultra-rich young, already accustomed to million-dollar watches, these beasts have become the ultimate symbol of class and social status. Imagine a wild animal weighing over 200 kilograms with an incredibly powerful bite, kept inside a white marble mansion or beside luxurious swimming pools. On social media, their owners frequently show off pictures of lions lounging on expensive Persian carpets or playing with their Lamborghini supercars. They appear relaxed, as if they were raising a pet cat, but in reality, every playful interaction is fueled by primal hunting instincts. Maintaining this hobby is extremely expensive. Besides the initial purchase price, the cost of dozens of kilograms of fresh beef daily and a specialized medical team can reach hundreds of thousands of dollars annually, making it an extravagant pastime reserved only for the elite. However, behind the glamorous photos lies a worrying reality. Lions need vast hunting grounds spanning tens of square kilometers to thrive. Being confined to small spaces makes them prone to stress and uncontrollable aggression. Conservation experts warn that even when domesticated from a young age, lions never truly belong to humans, as their brain structures lack the deep social connections found in domestic dogs or cats. In Saudi Arabia, keeping lions may be the epitome of luxury, but it also serves as a haunting reminder of the fine line between wealth and deadly danger. Number 2. Billion-dollar races in the desert. In this kingdom, power isn't confined to oil documents or secret conferences in Riyadh. It's vividly present on the streets through roaring engines. Your vehicle is your calling card, reflecting your personal status, and no name is more powerful than the Toyota Land Cruiser, known as the King of the Desert. Owning one of these, costing around $80,000, isn't just a hobby, it's a statement of success in Saudi society. However, the Land Cruiser is just the beginning. On the streets, you'll encounter parades of supercars, from Lamborghini Aventadors to Bugatti Chirons. The sight of drivers in traditional white robes behind the wheel of these million-dollar machines creates a striking cultural contrast. Some cars are even entirely plated in pure gold, transforming them into mobile works of art. The Al Saud royal family once astonished the world by commissioning a Rolls-Royce Phantom crafted from solid gold, costing millions of dollars, and hailed by the media as a symbol of ultimate luxury. This extravagance has even extended to license plates, with single numbers like 1 fetching auction prices higher than the car itself. As the fewer characters in a license plate, the greater the political power and immense family wealth. This wealth permeates every aspect of life, from gold-plated yachts to food sprinkled with pure gold. You can even easily find ATMs that allow you to withdraw 24-karat gold bars directly, just like cash, at shopping malls. To witness this peak of extravagance, you must visit Jeddah, a former small fishing village that has now become the area with the highest concentration of millionaires on the planet. Here, Ferrari supercar races on the sand dunes are a regular occurrence, just like in science fiction movies. Number 3. The secret behind the Al Saud family's $4 trillion fortune. In the heart of the harsh desert lies the Al Saud family, who have established one of the most powerful empires in modern history. They are also the only family in the world whose name is used to name an entire nation. A closed circle of power controls the entire state apparatus, from the military and police to religious institutions, the judicial system, media, and energy. The family's wealth is estimated to exceed $1.4 trillion, but many experts believe the actual figure could reach $4 trillion if secret investment funds are included. To put this into perspective, take the entire wealth of the British royal family and multiply it 16-fold. The heart of this power lies in Riyadh, where every fluctuation in the global energy market is clearly reflected in the operations of Aramco, the world's largest oil company. Its scale is so immense that even tech giants like Apple and Google seem small in comparison. This is not simply a corporation, but the kingdom's money printing machine, holding 15% of global oil production, with annual net profits sometimes exceeding the gross domestic product of many developed nations. That's why an order from the Riyadh Palace can instantly shake up gasoline prices in the US or Europe within hours. Since the 18th century, the Al Saud royal family has ruled not only politically, but also with profound cultural reverence, with the king's image present everywhere from schools to businesses. People view the king as a spiritual father, and power here is passed down between generations as a matter of course. To understand Saudi Arabia today, you must understand the family behind the entire country, for they are not just a royal dynasty, but an empire that runs the entire Middle East. They don't just rule a territory, they hold something the whole world cannot live without. Number 4. A giant country with no rivers. Saudi Arabia is a land that amazes both historians and geologists because of the rise of a modern civilization in a place where nature supposedly rejects all life. A shocking fact is that this country, spanning over 2 million square kilometers, has no natural surface rivers, meaning its entire area is equivalent to 15 Georgia states combined, yet it completely lacks surface water. It is surrounded by scorched basalt rock and arid deserts so dry that all matter could decompose in a matter of days. Yet, even in this harsh environment, tens of millions of people have built a thriving society by producing their own water. From the capital Riyadh to Medina, all urban areas are sustained by a system of pipelines traversing the desert, connecting to massive desalination plants located on the Red Sea and the Persian Gulf. Saudis currently operate the world's largest seawater desalination network, serving over 36 million people at an annual operating cost of billions of dollars. Besides thirst, the scorching heat exceeding 50 degrees Celsius is a terrible challenge, turning the atmosphere into a giant furnace. This extreme temperature can deform asphalt and melt the soles of pedestrians' shoes. Therefore, to prevent the roads from melting, engineers have implemented a bold solution: installing an underground cooling system beneath the road surface, using special white heat-reflective paints to reduce the road surface temperature by approximately 15 degrees Celsius. A nation lacking rivers and constantly subjected to skin-burning heat, yet relentlessly building and challenging the limits of nature. When nature offers no advantages, the Saudis are forced to establish an entire artificial ecosystem to survive. It was from that harsh foundation that an empire with unprecedented power and wealth was formed, transforming the deadly sand dunes into the leading economic and technological center of the world that we see today. Number 5. The most extravagant weddings on the planet. While on the streets, power is demonstrated through supercars and powerful vehicles, in the banquet halls, status is measured by the amount of diamonds and gold-plated invitations. These are not simply ordinary ceremonies, but stages showcasing ultimate extravagance. Each wedding here typically costs from several $100,000 to millions of dollars, and for the elite, the cost can exceed $10 million, enough to rent an entire private island in the Maldives for a month. From the entrance, guests are overwhelmed by giant floral arches and expensive incense, whose value surpasses even precious metals. The interior space is filled with Swarovski crystals and imported silk, along with a magnificent live orchestra stretching dozens of meters. The cost of fresh flowers alone is equivalent to the value of a luxury car, as most flowers are transported directly by plane from renowned nurseries on the same day to ensure absolute freshness. A distinctive feature is the complete separation between the men's and women's receptions. The area for women is often likened to a high fashion show where guests wear outfits from fashion houses like Chanel or Dior, along with 24-karat pure gold jewelry. The bride can change into up to 5 different wedding dresses, each worth tens of thousands of dollars. The sound and lighting systems are also elaborately designed, like a real live music show, featuring the most famous singers in the Gulf region. Special guests are served luxurious menus, such as traditional whole roasted lamb or imported seafood and coffee brewed according to a secret recipe, with custom-made tableware bearing the symbols of the two families. For the Saudi people, the wedding is a symbol of family honor and social status based on the long-standing Bedouin culture. Despite facing criticism for their wastefulness, these extravagant events continued to take place as a testament to the kingdom's prosperity. Number 6. Who is really rich in Saudi Arabia? So where does all that extravagance, from gold and silver to million-dollar weddings, come from, and who truly owns this wealth? In theory, It's Saudi citizens, who are placed in a welfare system that even developed countries struggle to match. They enjoy completely free education and healthcare, interest-free loans for marriage, and, notably, a citizen account that provides direct monthly government support as a form of profit sharing from the nation's oil resources. However, that's only half the truth. While welfare is the bright side, the cost of living is the dark side that constantly plagues this kingdom. In major cities like Riyadh or Jeddah, prices are unbelievably high, and paradoxically, clean water is sometimes more expensive than gasoline, due to the exorbitant operating costs of desalination plants. Every basic need, from air conditioning to meals, comes with increasingly hefty bills. The housing market is even harsher, with rapid urbanization driving the rent for a small apartment up to 80,000 riyals per year, a figure that even Dubai residents find shocking. The suffocating factor is that 40% of the population are migrant workers, yet they are completely outside the welfare system, receiving no subsidies or preferential loans, while facing a value-added tax that has tripled in recent years. Most food and goods are expensive because Saudi Arabia imports almost all of its food from abroad. Meanwhile, this group of foreign workers, who make up more than a third of the population, are the ones who keep the economy running, but their lives are a stark contrast to the glitzy glass towers. Through the kafala system, employers control the paperwork and even the exit rights of workers, leading to millions being exploited or facing prolonged wage arrears, creating an extreme social stratification between the local elite and the unskilled workforce. The most vulnerable are often domestic workers from Africa or South Asia, where legal protections remain severely lacking. Number 7. Taboos that could land you in jail. Although Saudi Arabia is implementing an unprecedentedly open policy to welcome international tourists, the kingdom still operates on extremely strict cultural and religious norms that everyone must absolutely adhere to. These laws are not merely long-standing customs, but are the fundamental legal foundations shaping the entire Saudi society. The first thing to note is the dress code in public. Both men and women are required to dress modestly to show respect for the local moral standards. For women, this means covering their arms and legs, and in many traditional regions, the abaya remains a mandatory choice, although the practice of wearing a headscarf has gradually become more relaxed, as long as the clothing is not too tight or revealing and offensive. Intimate gestures in public, which are very common in the West, are considered inappropriate here. Hugging, kissing, or even holding hands between unmarried people can result in immediate police summons. Alcohol is especially strictly prohibited, as any possession or use of alcoholic beverages carries severe penalties, including imprisonment or public flogging. Even dining habits require knowledge of the rules regarding separate areas for families and singles in restaurants. A prime example is the case in 2018 when an Egyptian man was arrested after posting a video of himself having breakfast with a woman who was not a relative. Finally, and most importantly, the holy cities of Mecca and Medina only allow Muslims to enter. Attempting entry by someone who is not a Muslim is considered a serious offense, leading to deportation or severe religious punishments. Every road leading to these two holy sites is guarded by strict security checkpoints, with rigorous identification and document checks to ensure the absolute sanctity of the heart of the Islamic world. Number 8. Saudi women, from driving bands to astronauts. If there's one topic that sparks global curiosity when discussing Saudi Arabia, it's its women. Less than 10 years ago, they were forbidden from driving or even from entering cinemas and public concerts. But now, on the bustling streets of Riyadh, seeing women confidently driving modern cars has become an integral part of contemporary life. This change isn't limited to the steering wheel. It extends to fashion as well, with regulations regarding the traditional abaya robe significantly relaxed. Women today can freely choose colorful and contemporary designs instead of the monotonous black of the past. Particularly noteworthy is the event of Rayana Barnawi becoming the first Saudi female astronaut to fly into orbit, a groundbreaking milestone and a vibrant symbol of the kingdom's vision for 230. Hidden beneath those cloaks is a captivating beauty legacy. The Arabian eyes, celebrated worldwide. With their deep eye sockets, thick eyelashes, and rare shades like amber brown or olive green, these eyes are not merely an aesthetic feature, but also the result of thousands of years of cultural exchange between the lands bordering the Red Sea. When the face is concealed, the eyes become the language of communication and reveal the soul. And a little-known fact is that these women possess an incredible inner strength stemming from ancient Bedouin traditions. From a young age, many girls master camel riding, reading footprints in the sand, or using the sun to navigate the vast desert. As adults, they not only know how to keep fires burning all night or prepare tea according to ritual, but can also participate in powerful sword dances at festivals to honor their lineage. Number 9. Lowest crime rate thanks to fear. Saudi Arabia is a country where the glitz and glamour of steel and glass only cover the surface, for beneath that facade lies a tightly controlled social system governed by Sharia law. Here, control is not merely a means of management, but has become a core part of the national structure. Right in the heart of the capital, Riyadh, lies a place known worldwide by the haunting name of Dira Square, also known as the Beheading Square. Here, death sentences were once publicly carried out under the scorching sun, a testament to the law's relentless pursuit of maximum deterrence. From theft and drug offenses to murder and religious insults, all can end in death, maintaining a record-low crime rate compared to Western countries. But in doing so, fear has become an invisible police force. In daily life, things that are considered normal elsewhere become absolute taboos in this kingdom. Alcohol is virtually non-existent, and pork is strictly forbidden according to Islamic doctrine. Even a hug or handshake in public can lead to questioning by the moral police, as they prioritize protecting traditional values above all social behavior. Small pleasures like a cold beer or a casual party are outside the boundaries of what is permitted, creating an invisible framework that pervades life. However, the greatest paradox lies in the fact that these rules are not applied uniformly across the territory. In ultra-luxury tourism projects along the Red Sea aimed at attracting international visitors, regulations are sometimes relaxed to prioritize economic interests, where bikinis and alcoholic beverages are gradually accepted in secluded areas. In stark contrast is the life of over 10 million migrant workers who make up a third of the population but never have citizenship or land ownership rights. The most shocking aspect was that the robot Sophia was granted official citizenship, while millions of workers who dedicated their lives to this place remained strangers on the land they built. This event sparked a global debate about the preferential treatment given to non-biological entities compared to the basic rights of human beings. Number 10. The secret of the Saudi Crown Prince's NEOM mega project. In a kingdom tightly bound by Sharia law and ancient tribal traditions, a futuristic ambition is emerging to transform arid deserts into a grand technological laboratory. The chief architect of this dream is Crown Prince Mohammed bin Salman, with his Vision 230, aimed at freeing the nation from its dependence on oil through mega projects that Western experts often call science fiction. At the heart of this ambition is the NEOM megacity, a multi-billion-dollar investment, most notably The Line, a vertical city only a few hundred meters wide but stretching for hundreds of kilometers. Its entire exterior is covered in giant glass mirrors and operates entirely without cars or conventional roads, instead relying on a high-speed train system and flying taxis. In theory, it's a green, zero-emission city, boasting an artificial moon and a perpetual climate control system, a scene straight out of a futuristic movie. However, behind that glamorous facade lay harsh dark sides, where tribal communities like the Hawaitat were forced to abandon their ancestral lands to make way for the project. Human rights organizations repeatedly accused those who dared to speak out against it of arresting and suppressing those who dared to protest. At the same time, the scale of the line was secretly significantly reduced from its initial commitment after the government realized a serious budget deficit and had to admit that it needed to rearrange its investment priorities. The Trojena Resort project, with its ambitious desert skiing venture, is a prime example of the attempt to use money to bend the laws of nature. While outside temperatures exceeded 40 degrees Celsius, visitors could still ski on artificial snow slopes, and this served as a springboard for Saudi Arabia to win the right to host the 2029 Asian Winter Olympics. Many critics call this a whitewashing strategy through sports, as the kingdom pours billions of dollars into football and Formula One racing to distract international media attention from its human rights abuses and tight social control. As reports of cost overruns, delays, and corruption investigations become more frequent, NEOM is becoming a multifaceted symbol. On advertising posters, it's presented as a beacon for the future economy, but from a critical perspective, it's a mirror reflecting waste and inequality, with millions of low-income workers toiling under the scorching sun to build towers for the super-rich. No one can be sure whether the end of this road will lead to a technological paradise or simply an abandoned construction site in the middle of a vast desert. Number 11. A bird species worth as much as a supercar. In the heart of the endless desert lies a symbol of power associated with the Arabs for millennia, the falcon. For them, it's not simply a predator, but a symbol of lineage, strength, and national pride. A single rare falcon can be worth as much as a supercar, with prices exceeding $1 million, and it's often present in royal families as a living crown, especially the extremely rare white gerfalcon, highly sought after by kings. Falcon competitions in the Gulf region are a unique blend of ancient values and modern technology. At large-scale auctions like the Saudi Falcon Club, each individual falcon is rigorously judged on its speed, hunting ability, and majestic posture. The strength of this bird represents the voice of the tribe, so winning these competitions with multi-million-dollar prize pools is the ultimate honor. Inside their luxurious villas, falcons enjoy the care of true stars, with air-conditioned rooms, state-of-the-art lighting, and a high-protein diet under the supervision of a private veterinarian. Many even receive their own passports, allowing them to travel first class on airlines with their owners to international competitions. Despite living in luxury, their predatory instincts remain incredibly formidable, with diving speeds exceeding 300 kilometers per hour and sharp talons. Therefore, training these birds is a risky challenge, as even a small mistake can lead to serious injury. Each training session requires thick leather gloves and a specialized hood to keep the bird calm, creating a harmonious dance between humans and the beast, maintaining a special spiritual connection that has been recognized by UNESCO as an intangible cultural heritage of humanity. Number 12. Qiddiya City, a $40 billion entertainment mega-city. Qiddiya City is Saudi Arabia's ambitious declaration of transforming a barren desert into a world-class entertainment hub. Located just 40 kilometers from the capital Riyadh, this mega-project, spanning over 360 square kilometers, represents a $40 billion investment in a city of fun. It brings together everything from sports and performing arts to adventure games and luxury resorts. This is a strategic move in the country's vision to break free from oil dependence and enter the era of technology-driven tourism. The centerpiece of the project is the Six Flags Qiddiya theme park, featuring 28 thrilling rides, most notably Falcon's Flight, a roller coaster using electromagnetic propulsion to reach speeds exceeding 250 kilometers per hour, poised to break all world speed and height records. In addition, there's the Aquarabia Water Park and the world's first Dragon Ball-themed entertainment area, featuring over 30 experiences based on the legendary anime series, each built at a cost of billions of dollars. The kingdom's ambitions extend to the realm of speed with the Qiddiya Speed Park, boasting 21 corners and a height difference of up to 108 meters. A highlight is the Blade Al-Frawar corner, soaring 70 meters above a music venue. Although it hasn't officially hosted F1, it did host the world's first hydrogen-powered racing event in 2025, marking a transformation from a blueprint to a global arena. Once operational, Qiddiya will function as a miniature entertainment nation with an integrated ticketing system capable of welcoming approximately 48 million visitors annually. The projected price range is expected to be comparable to Disney or Universal Studios, fluctuating between $65 and $120 a day, aiming to attract the global middle class and high-end tourists. The project is projected to create over 325,000 jobs and contribute $4 billion to the annual gross domestic product, officially becoming a powerful new economic pillar for Saudis. Number 13. The mystery of the tomb carved into the cliff face in the Saudi desert. Let's set aside future mega-projects and return to the dust of time that blankets the Arabian desert, a place that holds secrets that have terrified humanity for thousands of years. The most prominent example is Ma'dan Saleh, also known as Al-Hijr, the country's first UNESCO World Heritage Site. If you were amazed by Petra in Jordan, this is a forgotten twin, with colossal tombs carved directly into the cliff face by the ancient Nabatean civilization. For centuries, locals have believed this land is under a terrible curse. They tell stories of the jinn, supernatural entities from Arabian mythology lurking in the crevices of the rocks and emitting mysterious sounds throughout the night. This age-old spiritual fear has led to the desert being abandoned, with almost no one daring to venture near it. However, the passage of time has reversed everything, and what was once considered the land of spirits has now become a focal point of Saudi tourism. Luxurious tent camps with amenities comparable to five-star hotels are erected amidst ancient rock formations, and the price for a night under the starry sky in this otherworldly setting can reach $1,000. Hegra was built around the 1st century AD, with a complete system of 131 tombs and a complex network of water channels and underground wells. It was once a strategic stop on the spice route connecting Yemen and the Levant. The mystery lies in the fact that the Nabatean civilization vanished abruptly without leaving any written records or traces of activity. Furthermore, experts have yet to decipher how the ancients possessed such sophisticated stone carving techniques, comparable to modern laser technology, with cuts in the hard granite remaining perfectly smooth after 2,000 years of weathering. The combination of impeccable architecture and a fragmented history has made Hegra the greatest puzzle of the entire Arabian Peninsula. Number 14. Where tribal law is stronger than the law. Leaving bustling metropolises like Riyadh or Jeddah, you enter a completely different Arab world where life remains closely tied to tribal traditions rather than modern reforms. In high-altitude regions like Asir and Najran, or in remote villages in the heart of the desert, ancient customs still play a central role in coordinating community activities. In important events such as weddings or tribal festivals, rifles and khanjar daggers are always present with great solemnity. For the indigenous people, they are not simply weapons, but represent honor, maturity, and the courage of a man. These legacies have persisted for centuries and have become an inseparable part of the region's identity. The Saudi government has made numerous attempts to spread social reform to these remote areas, but in reality, it has always faced enormous obstacles. A firm belief in local customs keeps the people cautious about any change. New policies, such as expanding women's rights or developing the entertainment industry, do not easily take root in a place where the voice of the clan and tribe leader still carries weight, sometimes even overriding existing laws. In these rural areas, tradition is not a distant memory, but a real pattern of daily life. This is also why the kingdom's path to modernization is more complex and challenging than that of any other country in the Arabian Peninsula. Number 15. A trillion-dollar gamble on the future. So what really lies behind the dazzling lights and multi-billion-dollar megaprojects like NEOM or The Line? The short but powerful answer is that Saudi Arabia is engaged in a fierce race against time. As the world shifts away from the oil era, which had been the kingdom's sole source of livelihood for decades, the Saudis are forced to gamble all their resources on the future. Their strategic card is the ambition to become a new Dubai, or even an empire far surpassing Dubai, aiming to attract 100 million tourists annually to completely replace revenue from oil. However, the biggest obstacle now is not financial, but the human factor. Will this social structure be able to adapt to the unprecedented pace of change, especially when, on one side, there's a conservative older generation maintaining the centuries-old tradition of praying 5 times a day? Conversely, on the other side is the Gen Z generation in Saudi Arabia, who love rap music, use TikTok, and flock to the MDL Beast Music Festival to immerse themselves in vibrant electronic music under laser lights. These two opposing worlds are increasingly diverging, one rooted in religion, while the other is captivated by technology and global culture. The most challenging question facing this country is whether these two contrasting value systems can coexist peacefully in a nation still governed by Sharia law. As I mentioned earlier, forget your imaginary Saudi Arabia for now, because this is not just white sand and oil. It is a real battlefield where the grandest dreams that money can buy clash head-on with ancient traditions that even mountains of money cannot shake. Perhaps when the Line City is completed, it will become the greatest architectural wonder in human history, but it's also possible that those magnificent mirror walls will be left unfinished in the desert and gradually buried under the dust of time and hot winds. Time will surely provide the most accurate answer. So what's your opinion? If you owned millions of dollars, would you be willing to settle in this city of the future? Or would you fear it's just a gleaming golden cage where the outward glamour hides suffocating limitations within? Leave your thoughts in the comments below, and don't forget to watch the next video to explore other hidden corners of the world. Goodbye, and see you again.